the book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 14. The captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. Before I get started on this lesson, I want to give all praises, glory, infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Badash, and double honors to the apostles and the others of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and rule well. In peace, blessings, and salutations be to the hopefully elect, as well as those that believe in the gospel, and may you endure to the end, Lord willing. All right. Now, I want to get into a quick hit today, basically on this this image you see before you. You know, it's been kind of circling around, you know, WhatsApp, and, you know, brothers posted it on YouTube. All right, in which, you know, as you can read, it's a sign, holding up a sign saying, Yahweh Shai, come get me. All right, which is why I opened up with the book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 14. All right, because we are captives, all right, exiled here in America, okay, and we are hastening the day that we be loosed. All right, the day that, you know, as Yahweh Shai said, you know, which I'm going to get the account when he closed the book as well, all right? The opening of the prisons to them that are bound, all right? Because, you know, for those that understand the truth, that understand the situation that we're in, all right, we understand that, you know, we are serving out a punishment, right? We're living out a punishment, okay? But when you go into Lamentations, the 4th chapter, it tell you that the punishment of Zion, all right, is accomplished. All right, so let's get that real quick. Lamentations 4 and 22. It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away. All right. So this is, you know, this is our last captivity, man. All right. Under the rule of who? Esau, Edom. All right. The so-called white man. This is the last time that we will ever be slaves, captives, prisoners, okay, goyim. All the words, you know, you can describe. You name it. All right. We ain't going to be captives anymore. All right, this is it. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. You see, he will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. All right, so that's a point blank period to show that this is it. All right. Now, you read it in NLT, it says, "O beautiful Jerusalem, your punishment will end. You will soon return from exile," you see? But Edom, your punishment is just beginning. Soon your many sins will be exposed, okay? And, you know, as it says in 2nd Ezra 6, right, in verse 9. Well, I'll read 7 and down. It says, then answered I and said, excuse me. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow it? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. All right, and what's that hand holding the heel? You know, it represents, you know, Jacob pulling Esau down. All right. It says, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. You see? So at the end of our captivity, right, begins our rulership, okay? And the end of Esau's rulership begins his captivity. You see? So these things go hand in hand, man. All right. So I want to get it in Isaiah, back in Isaiah 51. All right, to tie in those that are exiled. And why we consider exiles? Because we've been exiled from our homeland, you know, from Jerusalem. We've been exiled, man. All right. Now it says in the NLT, soon all you captives will be released. Imprisonment, starvation, and debt will not be your fate. You see? So the captives, all right, those that are in, we're not in physical chains, but we in shackles every other way, all right, spiritually, speaking for the whole house of Israel, all right, spiritually, mentally, and a form of physically, right, by, being subject to these jobs, being subject to payments, That's why, this is heavy, right? Yahushua, come get me. Come get us. You should be praying for that, man. Putting up curses, Because we're tired of being tired, right? We're tired of being tired, man. All right, so let's go to back in Isaiah 60. All right. This is the 60. I think it's 18. I think it's 16. I might be thinking about the wrong thing. But Isaiah 60 is a good chapter too. All right. That's not it though. Yep, it's 61:1. It says, the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh is upon me, because the Lord Yahweh had appointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. You see, the captive exile hastened that he may be loosed. All right, and this is a prophecy, right, that the prisons will be open to them that are bound, right, that we will be freed, all right, from this captivity, freed from slavery, all right. And, this hasn't happened yet, by the way, all right. For all you jakes that think, oh, we are free, we're not slaves, no. We haven't been freed from this captivity, right? That comes through who? Yahushua, all right? In which I'm going to get this account in Luke 4. This is the one I was thinking about. In 18, it says, this is red letters, it says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he had appointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, in which the word gospel, it just means good news, right? He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, right? So while in all of these prophecies, why is there such thing, as deliverance, all right, or salvation being preached to captives, right? Why? Because these things haven't happened yet, and that, the Israelites will be in captivity, all right, when the Lord returns, okay, and then during the end times of the earth, all right, the Israel will be in captivity, right? Now it says, he has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind. You see, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. And verse 20 says, and he closed the book and gave it again to the minister and sat down. And the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them, this day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears. And all bare him witness and wondered at the gracious words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, is it not this Joseph's son? And he said to them, you will surely say unto me this proverb, right? And which I'm not going to get all of it, but, it's a good read. That's why I just kept going on, and these people were amazed that, Yahushua told them, look, this scripture's been fulfilled this day, right? But when you go back to Isaiah 61, it says in verse 2, It says to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord in a day of vengeance and of our power, and to comfort all that mourn. Okay, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he may be glorified. All right. And he Yahweh Shai purposely stopped at verse 2. Okay, in Isaiah 61. All right, because our mourning, all right, back then when he was on the scene, wouldn't be turned into a beauty for ashes. All right. The oil of joy for mourning, a garment of praise or for the spirit of heaviness. Those things wasn't promised back then, because we had to go into what? This final captivity. You see? These things had to come, right? But now we are seeing these things taking effect now, okay? So, just keep holding on, Agim. This thing of Yahweh Shai come and get us is going to be soon a thing of the past, all right? And we're going to be saying, man, Yahweh Shai came and got us. No, he came and got us, right? So, I ended off here, and I got a couple in my head, try to knock them out. 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 8, it says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, said the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. You see? So the Lord said, hey man, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. We begging and pleading for Yahweh Shai to come get us. That's our complaint. That we don't have to be, in this captivity anymore. That's our complaint, man. Right? We're not complaining about the afflictions and the infirmities. No, we complaining about being in this goddamn hellhole. That's what we complaining about. We want to get the hell up out of here, man. And the Lord said, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Speedily. All right. But that's pretty much it. I was gonna get Ezekiel 9, but that's cool. I just kind of wanted to be a quick hit, at those prisoners, those captives that's spoken about in prophecy, man. We getting ready, we are those, right? And we're getting ready to come home, all right? Which our home is Jerusalem. I'll read this. This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. You see? And it all started with what? Us being our fathers, committing those iniquities, That's why we are yet this day in this captivity. That's why we are captives. That's why we are a reproach, a curse. That's why we're subject to payments, That's why, But still, all in all, we still begging what? The Lord to come back and, Lord willing, we be a part of that number to save us, man. Okay? So, like I said, that's pretty much the point I wanted to get in this lesson. All right, so with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors once again to the apostles and the elders who were millstone. Until next time, I say Shalom, Wabarakim, Labacharium, Shalom.